folks, I'm Mike Murtis and you're watching GamerLogic.net, and today I wanted to discuss the Resident Evil 2 demo that just popped up just recently, and the particular version I played was on the Xbox One X. It's also available on the PS4 Pro, and it might even be available for the PC, I'm not sure. But for my first crack with this demo, I decided to play it on the Xbox One X. It is a one-time timed demo of 30 minutes. You can complete it before then, which I was able to do so, but I thought I would share my initial thoughts on this remake and my thoughts on actually playing the demo. Resident Evil 2 was the first Resident Evil game I actually played. I will never forget when my buddy Gerard called me. This was way back in like 6th, 7th grade, I think 7th grade, and he said, hey, I bought a PlayStation and I got a bunch of cool games and I can't wait to show them to you. Did you want to come over? So I took the 45-minute drive over there via my mom. She dropped us off, and I went ahead and tried out some amazing games. Crash Bandicoot 2, I believe, as well. And of course, the major standout to me, along with Resident Evil 2, was Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Now, Resident Evil 2, I thought, was just so groundbreaking and so amazing. And I remember my dad had a friend who also had a PlayStation, and he had the original Resident Evil. So my dad would kind of tell stories about what the game was like and going through this mansion and all the creepy zombies in it and just how amazing it looked. So seeing this game in action for the first time pretty much blew me away from a couple of different aspects. The first was the fact that it came on 2 discs, and I still have my copy of Resident Evil 2 right here, and I have both my manuals, my discs, and everything here. The really cool thing, I thought, that it was a 2-disc game, and on each disc was a completely different character scenario. I thought that was really neat. I thought that was a really cool particular take, and made the PlayStation platform kind of unique, I guess. I know they didn't explore it in a lot of different games, but I thought it was very neat in that aspect. And talk about having kind of the ultimate Night of the Living Dead experience. You're running through a town overridden by zombies, you're in a police station, and you're trying to do your best to just survive. So I was instantly blown away by the opening cutscene, the graphics, exploring around and trying to find keys and get past open doors, and that scene where the liquor drops down on you, that scared the living shit out of me. My friend had a laugh about that one because I did not see it coming. Totally freaked me out. And eventually I would get into the original Resident Evil when I got my own PlayStation, and I think the first edition of Resident Evil I picked up was the DualShock edition. So from that point, when I got my own PlayStation, Resident Evil 2 was a game I picked up right away and fell in love with it immediately. Could run through the game in my sleep, both characters, both scenarios. I played as Tofu, I played as Hunk, and I just had a great experience with it. And late last year, I did have the opportunity to kind of sit and play through it again and just see how it's aged. It's still a scary game, it's still a fun game, but there is so much running around and going back and forth that once you remember the layout of the station, it becomes very obvious that you can complete the game very quickly. And when they announced the Resident Evil 2 remake and they finally got to a state where they could actually show off the game, I was a little worried that there wouldn't be much gameplay to this, because now you're going to kind of a tank-controlled adventure game to the typical Resident Evil style, Resident Evil 4, honestly, where it's over the shoulder, you're behind the character, and you're kind of exploring around the police station. Now, obviously, they've announced that they've added new scenes and other stuff, but my initial reaction from seeing play videos online and stuff, that I don't know, it looked a little weird. It looked a little too fast. It didn't have that methodical pace that the original Resident Evil 2 had, and maybe that doesn't work in today's age, but it didn't seem to have that pacing that made Resident Evil 2 so much fun. It still makes it kind of fun to this day. So to get to the modern version of it and playing it myself, they announced the demo. I just downloaded it a little while ago, and this is a cool kind of, they call it a one-shot demo. It lasts for 30 minutes. You can die as many times as you want, but once you play it, you're kind of done. And from what I can understand, you're done for good unless you make a new account. That could be completely off base, but I figure if I want to play it again and I can't play it again on the Xbox One, then I can just download it on my PS4 Pro. But I thought that was a really cool concept, and this demo itself starts you really kind of into the meat and potatoes of the game as Leon, and Leon is just getting into the police station of Raccoon City, and instantly, right away, you can tell some things have changed. Obviously, the gameplay has been modernized again. It plays more like a Resident Evil 4 than it does a Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 3, which makes a lot of sense. And it's a bit more action-packed, but the mood in the original mystique of Resident Evil 2 is there. I mean, the police station, for the most part, looks exactly like it did in Resident Evil 2, with some additional bells and whistles and stuff like that. Bathrooms, locker rooms, some other things. But the key rooms in that police station and the shape of that police station is still there, and it still looks excellent. It looks fantastic, honestly. No frame rate issues or anything, at least on the Xbox One X version. Controls are very simple. If you've played a over-the-shoulder third-person game in the last, I don't know, 10 years, you'll have a very general idea how to play this. Pluses and minuses. I kind of already gone through the pluses. I like how it performs. I like how it plays. I like how it looks. It is much, much, much darker than the original Resident Evil 2 in terms of violence, in my opinion. They've kind of modernized that. And it's just a dark police station overall, so you're actually having to use a flashlight, and it adds that creepiness factor. I mean, I'm sure back in the day they would have loved to be able to do this in Resident Evil 2 on the PlayStation, but that technology just wasn't there yet. So now you have all this modern technology realized for this, and it makes for a brooding, fun, paranoia-based experience. Zombies are coming through windows, they're coming through the regular spots. Is that person dead? Is he alive? Or is he a zombie? All that paranoia that Resident Evil 2, the original, introduced is still here. At least it's here in the demo. They've played around a little bit with the cutscenes. For example, the officer that you find that is still alive, is his name Marvin, I think. Marvin is alive in the station. You kind of find him in a different spot. He kind of helps you out, and he kind of gives you orders throughout this demo. And you're basically trying to search for anyone you can in this police station. You end up running into him. You kind of go off and perform another mission for him, and then when you come back, he gives you some additional orders, and that is kind of the end of the demo. But it's just enough to get that classic Resident Evil experience. I think the only thing that really throws me off is the look of Leon. Leon looks almost a little too young, but maybe if you look in the Resident Evil timeline, that stuff adds up. But I don't know. He looks like he just got out of high school, and it's a little off-putting. Claire looks kind of weird too, but you know, they're modernizing it. Otherwise, you know, it just kind of looks weird. You can't throw the old polygon faces on there, right? But I'm kind of rambling at this point, so I'll just kind of finish up here and say that going into the Resident Evil 2 remake, I was not totally 100% sold on the game. Playing it now, I am interested in the full version. I'm really interested to see what they did with the rest of the characters, the rest of the story, the rest of the looks. However, I am not going to be picking it up day one. This will be a game on my 2019 list. If you're a hardcore Resident Evil fan, pick this up. You're going to have fun with it. It's very enjoyable. But for me personally, as I'm trying to get through a backlog of games, and personally just don't have as much time as I used to, this is going to have to be one I come back to, hopefully at a lower price point. And I'm assuming that this is going to be a $59.99 release. Maybe they are cutting it some slack because it is a remake, but I thought for sure I saw it for $59.99. But overall, if you're a Resident Evil fan, definitely worth checking out. Great game, great demo. Check it out. It's free. Obviously, you can see for yourself whether or not you like it, and definitely very happy to see Resident Evil 2 getting a modern remake. Now, if we can see 3, that would be really interesting, because I think that's kind of the underdog of the series in actuality. So that's all I got for this video, guys. That was my Resident Evil 2 remake impressions. Thanks for watching.